Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet. In a significant stride towards technological independence and innovation, Union Minister for Communications, Electronics and Information Technology and Railways, Ashwini Vaishnav, launched India's fastest and indigenously designed IP MPLS multi-protocol label switching router in Bangalore. The project is spearheaded by the collaboration of the government's Department of Telecom, CDOT and Niveti, and it marks a momentous achievement in the nation's journey towards becoming a major product and manufacturing hub in the global tech landscape. Well, how will India's latest innovation stand up to established giants of this particular space like Huawei, Nokia and Cisco? Well, before we begin into this discussion, let's listen in to what the Union Minister had to say.
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जो डिजिटल इंडिया का विजन, मेक इन इंडिया का विजन और डिज़ाइन इन इंडिया का विजन दिया, उसके तहत 2014 में निवेटी ने अपना काम शुरू किया और आज एक बहुत ही बड़ा माइलस्टोन अचीव हुआ है, जिसमें एक कॉम्प्लेक्स 2.4 TBps का कोर राउटर किसी भी नेटवर्क का ब्रेन होता है जो कि पूरे नेटवर्क को चलाता है, भारत में बना है और अब आगे डिप्लॉय होगा बड़ी संख्या में। आज इस राउटर को देख के एक स्पष्ट कॉन्फिडेंस आता है देश में, किस तरह से प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सबको इंस्पायर करके एक ऐसा इकोसिस्टम बनाया है जिसमें लोग बड़े चैलेंजेस ले रहे हैं और उन चैलेंजेस को अचीव करें।
All right, Khushbu Jain, cyber expert, joins us on the program. Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran, former Indian Air Force, a global strategic and defense expert, also with us on the show. Ajay Data, tech expert, with us on the program as well. Ravi Vishweshwar Prasad, telecom expert, also joins us on the program as well. Ajay, I'll begin with you, if you can hear me. Ajay, how do you, basically attach relevance to this this development that has been done in India? We all use modems, we all use internet, we all use this technology. And for the most part, this technology has been dominated by players who are not indigenous by nature. What does this tell you of the technological trajectory that India and this government has been projecting?
See, it is a very important discussion for the India perspective. Why? Because router is the device which manages the entire internet traffic at a gateway level, which means that it is the device which is important device for entire IP packet switching, which means there is requires an operating system to do that. And what I hear that we have now our own operating system for operating a router, and that too with a very high speed in terabytes. We had OpenWRT, UOS, DTWRT, Cisco iOS, many operating systems in the world, but none from India. And this change, which Niveti iOS has done, is an important and landmark milestone from the device building perspective, device manufacturing capabilities. Our own operating system for a very important device which sits at a gateway level. IP MPLS, what they say is going to change the way this IP networks are going to operate faster. And as we know that internet is now consuming more and more data, more and more speed is required, 5G, 6G, we are going to have a lot more speed in the networks, which requires our backbones to have very large amount of data traveling over the backbone, over the network, which means that we will need a high-speed packet switching and internet routing through the routing devices. And this device, if it is made in India, makes a significant change the way India can build its network. And I'm already reading that our defense organizations and technical organizations are already using it, and they have deployed that device, they deployed that router, which is also a testimony of that device is working, not just in claim. And hence it is very, very important. We must applaud and celebrate that this device is now in the system. And it's just a beginning, I must say, because now we are going to have lot more devices which will make our entire this technology will make our Wi-Fi, our network, our entire thing, as the innovation goes forward, will make a significant difference for the higher packet switching and higher internet speed in the country.
Right, and Khushbu, let us not forget that the Niveti router is capable of handling 2.4 terabytes per second of speed. Now, this is extremely impressive, considering the fact that the maximum household speeds that we are usually used to is perhaps not too much. It's perhaps 1/4 of what this has to offer. What does this mean for India's digital infrastructure and support, high-speed data processing and transmission? How is this going to be impacted, and how is India is going to make this, its own cup of tea when it comes to, in fact, even exporting this in the future?
It's a very landmark situation for all of us, and a place where all of us have to celebrate. This is one step ahead when we're talking about digital India and to make India coming top in the global landscape when it comes to digital technology or digital mission of India. Now, coming to the question that yes, we are putting a lot of efforts, and our government is putting a lot of efforts to bring in Indian inks at a place where we are not just service-oriented country, we are good at service, but also we become manufacturing hub, especially when you talk about technology-enabled IoT devices and things like that. And this is one of the move. I'm coming on another aspect, that having a core router of indigenous core router plays a very
All right, there seems to be a problem with your network, Khushbu. I'm going to come back to you momentarily. Let me, in fact, also open Wing Commander S. Sudhakaran into this. Wing Commander Sudhakaran, how do you rate this? Is this a dawn of a new technological transformation when it comes to digital India?
See, 16, 17 years back when the Air Force went into the state-of-the-art IP-MPLS network, which it got in return for the spectrum that it gave to the country for unleashing the mobile network, we were largely dependent on the Ciscos of the world. That's 17 years back. A good about 6, 7 years back, I was involved with the Tejas switches. We were looking at indigenizing of a lot of these layer 2, layer 3 switches. And this, I'm given to understand, is a switch that has been developed in that line. So this is nothing new. This is part of an ongoing process that has been continuously happening. But also let me, spoil your euphoria a bit, because the adaptability to our even indigenous network has been abysmally poor. These routers have not stepped up to operational requirements. It is okay to put it in the lab, one odd router, but then last 6, 7 years, the reality is that we have not been adopting it in our networks itself. That's the reality. The most important point that I have to tell you is, in 70 years, we, on the innovation front, we failed a lot. So we are doing a lot of catching up here. So every small thing that we are doing, these are catching up games. These are not state of the art that we have built, that is, going to define next generation communication. No, it is not. So we are, doing what we have not done in the 70 years. So this is catching up. This is essential for India. This needs to be done. But is there anything that we need to rejoice on this and pat on our back? No, we are just doing what we were supposed to do. And if we are talking about, because why we are not supposed to rejoice on this is, because otherwise we'll get lulled into some kind of, an achievement which, wherein we have not even entered the space that we are supposed to. India is aspiring for technology leadership. We need to understand that. And in technology leadership, it is not a catching up game that will actually help you, reach there. It is a leadership game that you need to play, and we have yet not started that game. We are still lagging in the leadership game. We are still talking about technologies which are 10 years, 15 years, 20 years older, and we're trying to build it of our own. Even while we say that we built this, the processes that are involved in this kind of switching, I'll tell you, it is not ours. I'll give you one example and an analogy. Last month, there was a lot of tom-tomming about the Kritrim. Kritrim was a wrapper that was written around, OpenAI's GPT 3.5 class of algorithms. And then we went on to, into the town saying that, we already built our LLM. And the company also has fooled the investors to get $1 billion valuation, whereas all that they have done is written a wrapper around it and then, write an API into it. And, you go into them, you will get the same. So we need to be extremely cautious with this kind of an approach. We are just at a very nascent stage. There is a lot of work that we need to do. And that is because what we were supposed to, we missed the semiconductor bus. We cannot miss the next, revolution that is being unveiled right now. And there is a lot of work that needs to be done. That's what I need to say today.
Okay, all right. Khushbu, we lost you there. Please pick up from where you left off. And you concur with Wing Commander Sudhakaran that, this is perhaps a step in the right direction, but, we should not be resting on our laurels.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm also coming on the aspect that we are sitting today, or the world is sitting today at a situation where cyber warfare or being vulnerable at another state is something which we have seen in the past, in the recent past, which is happening. And having our own indigenous routers is one step ahead to curtail that risk that, router manufacturers, if they are in other countries, can have an aspect of hidden backdoors or vulnerabilities which can be intentionally inserted by the foreign entities or the malicious actors. So this step could allow us to limit the unauthorized access of sensitive network infrastructure, which in a way was posing a significant national threat, security threat to our nation. The second aspect is about data espionage. So foreign-made core routers may be or may not be designed to facilitate data espionage, enabling the interception and also at the same time interaction of or extraction of sensitive information passing through that network. If this is compromised, national security is compromised by exposing our classified information, our trade secrets, our critical infrastructure data to the adversaries. So we are sitting today at a situation where this can be a step towards making our nation secure, a step towards building our nation secure. Apart from putting ourselves at the pedestal where India can be leading when it comes to technology, when it comes to IoT, when it comes to getting into putting our digital India in the world map in top.
Okay. Ravi Prasad?
Yes, I largely agree with what the previous three speakers have said. One clarification I just want to make on what Wing Commander Sudhakaran had said. One of the advantages of MPLS over IP routers is that it enables integration of disparate technologies. So it makes network integration easier because MPLS routers work at the level 2.5. There are the other advantages of MPLS over IP are speed because you don't have to do the lookup tables for forwarding. Because they work on the basis of labels rather than on network addresses. So this is a significant breakthrough. The disadvantages of MPLS are that increased cost, they're more expensive than the IP routers. There are limited vendors, limited service providers. Until now, we were dependent on the Ciscos of the world for MPLS router technology. But I largely agree with what Ajay Data and Khushbu and Wing Commander Sudhakaran have said. You are also kind of minimizing the risks of trapdoors and backdoors and data being siphoned off. There have been those questions with foreign gateways, equipment such as Huawei in India, and other non-Indian vendors. So certainly this is a great enhancement for time-critical networks such as power grids, defense networks, railways signaling, and especially for the Internet of Things and machine-to-machine communications. This is very critical. So kudos to the developers of the 2.4 terabytes router technologies.
Ajay, what about civilian applications and civilian consumption? How is that likely to be impacted as a result of this development?
See, I am very excited, and I think we should see this as a breakthrough because of sheer technology which can provide the speed in terabytes, and how it is made available for further innovation is going to create the charter for building into the devices which are going to be used by common end user, whether it is a Wi-Fi router or your own end use device. As of now, this device is going to be not visible for the end user. This is a backbone device. This is a MPLS network device, which MPLS is basically, it encapsulates the network traffic and provides a useful layer of abstraction. This allows these disparate circuits to be seamlessly merged into a single WAN and easier to set up. This is what MPLS is. A single unified MPLS network can be built upon circuits from a variety of different carriers. And that's how, if you connect from Airtel to Vodafone or Vodafone to Jio, MPLS network provides you a seamless, shortest path switching of the IP in that network, rather than going the address translation route from which IP network provides, which is a backbone task, which is a backbone work largely, where and this 2.4 terabyte of speed is not really required as of now for the end user, because it is not just the device. Our end devices also must support this kind of traffic, this kind of communication. Hence, for a backbone, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. If in future, if we can have our wireless devices, access points, and this technology moves in that direction to communicate with the backbone at a higher speed, we will have eventually a more higher speed to the connected network in our homes, in our offices. That's eventually it should happen. We have to see that how this technology moves and innovates the end user devices, the consumer devices. It is right now a network device which is going to be deployed by the network operators and MPLS operators or telecom operators largely.
Wing Commander Sudhakaran, obviously you're right about the fact that the pace perhaps may be not equivalent to the progress that we have seen around the world, but the fact of the matter is that this is largely a step which will make India very, very cushioned in the Atmanirbharta prospect.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wing Commander Sudhakaran?
See, as I told you, these are while I wouldn't rate it as very great achievements, but these are significant milestones which are going towards achieving greatness in the future. But then the effort needs to be consistent. It cannot happen that you do it 10 years and then you forget to do it 20 years and then you do something else. Right now you are in a technology trajectory which is innovating, inventing, bringing these milestones, whether it be on space, be it on cybersecurity, be it on information processing, be it on the computing front, or a host of others. But then this is not enough. What we are doing is very, very elementary. I've been time and again I've been stressing out in your program to say that our destination that we have identified is correct, is right. But the direction I don't think is right. We are not in the right direction. Second,
what should the direction be? Wing Commander Sudhakaran, what should the direction be according to you?
See, in technology trajectory, like a high-speed missile which goes and catches an aircraft, technology also evolves at a very fast pace. There are two methods in it. The triple boiling method, as they say, it is a catching up game, right? You just keep catching up with technology as it evolves, and then you eventually hope to end with technology where it is supposed to evolve and reach. The other is a lead game, which the West plays, which China plays. We are not into that lead game. Probably estimating trajectory, technology trajectory as to where it is going to be at a future point of time, and then creating a roadmap to reach and hit that roadmap of time, without any, without following it, you are actually leading it. That is the game that we are not playing today. In fact, as part of the Vision India document, we had brought these aspects in play because the biggest challenge is that we are so much conditioned by the Victorian era education system that we believe that what is happening is the right thing and what we are doing is the right thing. And that, when we actually quantify it on what is the practical reality, that is, where do we stand in the technology podium race, and when we assess it, we don't find ourselves there. Mind you, the guy who's going to control technology is the one who's going to control the world order. That is what is the reality that has been the truth for the last 50, 60 years. Now, if you need to control technology, you need to finish, in the technology podium as a winner. There is no runner-up in the technology race. Either you are there or you are not there. If you say that you are catching up, technology as it is evolving, technology as it is, specifically sinister technologies like AI, wherein I've been continuously reiterating, there is no collaboration there, there is no global participation there. You will need to do it indigenously. It is unlike the nuclear race. It is not going to give you a 20, 30 years time frame wherein you can also build your own AI. That's not going to happen. The first AGI, the moment it is going to come into existence, is going to kill everything else. And if we do understand this kind of a future, we need to get invested in it. We can't say that, I'm going to invest in yesterday's technology and extrapolate it.
Okay, let's get reactions from Khushbu and Ravi Prasad on this as well. Khushbu, how do you respond to what Wing Commander Sudhakaran is saying? He's obviously saying that we have miles to go, but every opportunity that India gets to showcase its indigenous prowess, to me, is a celebration.
Absolutely. I, in a way, agree, and in a way, I do not agree, because I would say it's a milestone that we need to recognize. We need to applaud, because these are the efforts that India and all other stakeholders involved in this are being part of it. And we are going towards our unwavering commitment and preservations, if you look into, to go towards brighter and more connected future of our nation. I would say this is rather than looking at just the negatives, let's look at the positive. Let's come to the aspect that we are going towards it. I'm not denying the part that if you want to be in technology space, you have to be acing the technology, absolutely. But just by talking that something which we have achieved today, something which is a milestone, we are talking about launching of an indigenously developed and made in India router, which is a milestone in our journey towards digital transformation and self-reliance. I mean, I'll repeat again, this is something which can be called as an unparalleled capacity, security, potential impact, not only when it comes to exemplifying our own technologically prowess, but also serve as a beacon of hope and also at the same time progress for a digitally empowered India.
All right, we've run out of time. Mr. Ravi Prasad, quickly, last thoughts from you and then we wrap up.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go so far as to call this a breakthrough. It certainly is a significant milestone, a significant leap, the development of this router. It's going to change machine-to-machine communications, Internet of Things, quantum computing, cybersecurity, and the main applications are going to be in telecom networks, power grid networks, air traffic control, aircraft, railway signaling systems, the kinds of big infrastructure projects where you need nanoseconds response time. And talking about technologies, we are way behind China in defense technology. We really need to catch up with China, and we have to invest in various ICT technologies, both in hardware and software, to catch up with China, because China is the world leader now in quantum computing, high performance computing, supercomputing, and artificial intelligence.
There is a challenge, and of course we recognize that, but still, this is not a gray area. This is a black and white area to me, and whatever India comes up with, despite the odds, is something that should be recognized and spoken of, and that's exactly what we have done right here on NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.